The movie begins as Thibaut, a French figure skater, is harassed by an agent. The agent tells him to quit, as no one wants or needs to see him on the ice rink, and he is now old news in the skating world. Thibaut is pained by this, but puts on a brave face. In the next scene, Claire, a film student, arrives late to class. It seems her professor, named Steve, has some animosity towards Claire, as he creates an environment where other students could attack her in a passive-aggressive manner. At the end of the class, Steve gives his students the assignment of making a short film. Claire ponders making a film titled Oedipus Puppet. That is a combination of Oedipus and puppet. She bounces ideas around with her rich, obnoxious, but sometimes wise friend, Julia. It is revealed that she does not have permission from Steve to work on this titled project, and he may fail her for this reason. Claire is understandably stressed, and so her friends suggest that she go to Paris to clear her head. Claire has always loved Paris. She even taught herself to speak French at a young age. But Claire is hesitant to drop all that she has going for her in New York to travel to Paris. She also complains that she may need to spend every coin in her purse to fund the trip. Julia still encourages her, and states that life is too short, and true passion is too rare. Claire then decides to go after she has finished the more recent assignment from Steve and settled her grades. When she submits her finished work, Steve hands her an F grade and spews all sorts of nonsense under the sun as his reason for failing her. Claire uncharacteristically laughs at the situation and decides there and then that she is going to Paris. As she's processing her travel papers, she meets Thibaut. Although it's a short conversation, their first meeting is civil and nice. Claire goes home and Google searches Thibaut Baudet. She discovers he is a figure skater and watches clips of his feats with admiration. In the following days, she keeps viewing his videos at any chance she gets. She notes that watching Thibaut makes her feel less lonely in the world. When Claire finally arrives in Paris, she works as an au pair for Nadège Saint-Pierre and her husband, Bernard. She is to support them by taking care of their children, and they in return will cover her lodging expenses. The couple have 2 children named Elodie and Angelique. The family unit also includes Nadège's mother, named Kadia, and a housekeeper, Khadija. Nadège seems pleased to learn that Claire speaks such lovely French. Claire also signs up to do a documentary project at a facility. The support staff are rude to her, but she is eventually sorted out with the help of another student named Rafal Dabrowski. Soon there's a figure skating competition coming up, and Claire is excited to buy tickets for the program, as she believes Thibaut will participate. But her hopes are dashed when she discovers that he retired at the start of the season and won't be competing. She soon discovers that he will be a part of the spectators and sees him talking casually to a group of persons. She walks up to him to find out what is going on, but from the moment he looks at her, she becomes tongue-tied and jumbles up words. He doesn't seem to recognize her, and she excuses herself out of embarrassment. She goes to the restroom to collect herself. Then she meets him again, and they have a proper conversation. This time he then realizes that she is familiar, and they have a productive chat. They exchange contacts and plan to work together to create a show involving figure skating and puppets. The pair later agree to sit out at a cafe the following Tuesday. Claire is super excited about their meeting to the point of dancing her way to the cafe. As they discuss, it is revealed that Thibaut has quit his skating career and now works at a bank. When Claire asks if it is boring, Thibaut replies, saying it is life-threateningly boring. They bounce ideas around as they try to figure out how to pull off the figure skating and puppet show. When Thibaut admits that he is blank on ideas, Claire suggests bringing the 2 concepts together in a ballet show. Thibaut then says that Claire could work with his girlfriend, Trina. Trina is a ballet dancer. Claire is disappointed that Thibaut has a girlfriend, as she has a growing crush on him. Claire tries, but fails to hide her disappointment. She leaves the cafe in a rush, claiming to be ill. She gets home and Google searches for Trina. She finds cozy pictures of Trina and Thibaut. Meanwhile, the host family she works with is weird towards her. The children lie against Claire, saying that she hits them, and their mother supports their nasty attitude. They try to bring Khadija, the housekeeper, on board with their wrong treatment of Claire, but Khadija defends Claire. This doesn't dissuade them. They continue with Claire's maltreatment, so much so that Claire is forced to move in with Julia, her obnoxious and materialistic friend. Claire slowly heals from her initial disappointment over the news of Thibaut's relationship. She gathers her emotions to the point where she can reach out to him and plan another meeting. They agree to meet on the following Thursday. When Thursday comes, Claire tells him of the idea she wants to put on display, which is about a ballerina, a Moor, and Petrushka, a clown. These 3 would be puppets brought to life by a charlatan. Petrushka would fall in love with the ballerina, but she will be in love with the Moor. This would prompt the Moor and Petrushka to enter into a duel. Petrushka would get offed, and then his spirit would curse the charlatan for bringing him to life. Claire wants Thibaut to play Petrushka. Thibaut thinks the story is great, but he says he is not the right person to play the part, as there are better, more talented skaters to play the part. He tries to sell himself short, but Claire would have none of this. She tells him that when he's on ice, he is a human sunbeam, and that people need that sunbeam of hope in their lives every once in a while. He is touched by this, and finally agrees to play Petrushka. In the following days, the duo spend time practicing towards their dream of creating this piece. They have fun together, but sometimes Thibaut is bogged down by the negative words of the agent at the start of the movie about how he is old news and belongs with garbage. Anytime he gets like this, she encourages him and helps him come out of his dark feelings. As he keeps practicing figure skating, his spirits rise, and even his girlfriend notices this change. As time goes on, he starts developing a crush on Claire, but does not act on it. Claire registers their name for an incoming festival, and Thibaut is pleased about this. In the next scene, Thibaut and Trina's horizontal dance pattern is shown to have been declining for some time now, leaving Thibaut and perhaps Trina unsatisfied. Claire also hooked up with Rafal, the student who helped her earlier, and has been infatuated with her. She did this because she is not aware of Thibaut's crush and can't keep waiting for him since he's in a relationship. She is also shown to be dissatisfied with her bang session. Activities for Claire are going on as usual until she receives a text from Thibaut saying he will no longer be able to do the show with her as he doesn't feel capable. There are subsequent text messages that are very insensitive and callous. Claire is heartbroken by this. It turns out that Thibaut's girlfriend is the one who sent the subsequent callous texts, as Thibaut is trying to explain how, even though he doesn't feel up to the task, Claire has changed his life and has made him feel alive, even if for a little while. Thibaut gets a final message across to Claire telling her to come and pick up her puppets, as he feels they are watching him. This statement implies his guilt. When Claire comes over to his place, he apologizes for the stress he has put her through. But Claire chooses to be upbeat. She tells him that the submission they made was successful, and that they have been selected for the puppetry festival. Thibaut is not pleased with this. He rants that she should not force him. Claire replies that she's only trying to help him as they are friends. Thibaut then says that they are colleagues and not friends, and that just because she has seen videos of him on the ice, doesn't mean that she knows him. He emphasizes that the Thibaut in the ring is different from the Thibaut standing in front of her. He ends by saying she is not part of his private life and doesn't need to take care of him. He essentially tells her to go do something useful with her life. Claire retorts that she won't emulate his life as a banker. This strikes Thibaut deeply, and he begins to apologize. But Claire cuts him off. She says that if the real him is not the one on the ice, then he has her fooled. She further says that she misses the cheerful Thibaut, who was determined to chase his dreams. She then calls him her Petrushka and bids him farewell. Thibaut is touched deeply by this exchange, but he reins in his emotions. He becomes gloomy for the rest of the day, and when Trina asks, he tells her that he feels like he has made a mistake and is considering patching things up with Claire. His girlfriend is not pleased about his revelation and storms off. Meanwhile, Claire's life is going downhill as her job of taking care of mean children and hosting puppet shows for them is too mentally and physically exhausting. She also started dating Rafal out of convenience, but this is also not going great, as he is needy and wants to fight about every single thing. It seems fighting turns him on, and Claire doesn't know how much more she can take. One day at a kid's party, the children present are particularly unruly and do not listen to a single word she says. They toss and tear her puppets, and Claire runs away in defeat. The next day, she tosses out all the puppets in her possession and prepares to leave Paris. She doesn't bother to tell Thibaut because she feels he hates her and wants nothing to do with her. A few weeks later, she's on a call with Julia when Thibaut runs into her. It is here that she tells him that she is returning to the US and leaving Paris for good. Thibaut is saddened by this and wants to express his true feelings, but he settles for telling her to have a good trip. He further wishes her good luck, but becomes tongue-tied and jumbles up his words near the end of his speech. Claire then invites him for a stroll. Thibaut is greatly pleased by this and jumps on the offer immediately. When she asks about his life, he informs her that it has been so-so, but that he intends to take Trina to Portugal for the weekend so that they can spend quality time together. He says he's not sure it will do them any good, but he has to try. He then apologizes to Claire for his behavior towards her earlier. He tells her that he cares too much for her. He then states that he doesn't want to jeopardize his relationship, and that's why he is keeping her at arm's length. Claire smiles at this. She has finally gotten closure that he feels the same way about her. Thibaut then quickly tells her not to stray too far though, as he wants to keep being friends. As they are speaking, her airport cab pulls over, and they are forced to hurry their farewells. Claire once again tells him, goodbye. Thibaut is overwhelmed with so many emotions. It is clear that he deeply cares for Claire, but he does nothing. He just watches her go. The movie fast forwards to a few years' time. Claire has learned to prioritize herself and is doing better. She is walking down a street, and she sees a poster of a figure skating show with Thibaut, named as its artistic director. She smiles at this because it implies that Thibaut has finally realized himself and is following his dream. The end.